Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome back to RBI Grade B. मेरा नाम है ऋषभ and let's begin today's class for economics and finance issues and analysis. So, good morning Aniket, Gaurav, good morning Nivedita, good morning Isha. Let's start the class. Okay. So again, some factual news will be here, except the SEBI one. So number one is IMF cuts India's growth output. After World Bank, it is number of IMF. अब ये कोई अगेन दिस इज नॉट अ रिपोर्ट लाइक वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक आउटलुक, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. इकोनॉमिक आउटलुक में दे हैव टोल्ड अस दैट 6.1% विल बी आवर ग्रोथ रेट फॉर दिस ईयर, दिस फाइनेंशियल ईयर 24. As per RBI, it will be 6.5%. But as now, since the banking systems are in doldrums, financial problems, and also IMF has said that the pent up demand has now fallen down. ठीक है, डिमांड कम, डोमेस्टिक डिमांड भी कम हो रही है इंडिया में, so that's why 0.2% or 20 basis points they have reduced the GDP forecast. So here is the chart. Let's see. Okay, so it is a mixed outlook. Okay, growth forecast. China's growth forecast is the same. Okay, the world's GDP is also falling down by 0.1%. You can see world GDP. Okay, US is growing as per IMF. India is falling by 0.2%. Okay, ये है IMF का नया outlook because there is a spring meeting going on of IMF and World Bank. So new numbers will be out. ठीक है, इस मीटिंग में नए नए नंबर्स बाहर आएंगे. टेंशन लेने की बात नहीं है बिकॉज कोई और मीटिंग होगी तो फिर कोई और नंबर आएगा एज पर द प्रिवेलिंग इकोनॉमिक कंडीशंस. Okay. Now, some data. Let's see. By economic survey on the baseline GDP. Baseline means $85 हम मान के चलेंगे per barrel crude, and we will take $82 का exchange rate. ठीक है, $82 per rupee will be the our exchange rate. Baseline का मतलब होता है ना कि baseline define करती है गवर्नमेंट. Some metrics are defined for baseline because last year baseline था $105 per barrel crude oil, जो कि सस्ता मिला हम लोगों को. But our baseline was also last year कि $80 will be our exchange rate that went up to 84 rupees. तो वहां पे distortion होगा. For this time baseline GDP के लिए government has said that we will take crude by $85 per barrel and 82 rupees per dollar will be our conversion rate. ये है baseline. इस baseline पे हमारा GDP growth will be 6.5% as per economic survey, and as per RBI 6.4 it was, but after the revision it is 6.5. Now ADB 6.4, World Bank 6.3, 6 ICRA, OECD 5.9 because OECD is also slashed India's GDP growth by 0.2%. Okay. Now let's read it. So IMF slashed the economic growth by 20 basis points to 5.9%, citing less scope for pent-up demand due to historical revisions of data. अब pent-up demand क्या होती है? Pent-up demand is like hidden desires that whenever money will come to me or whenever economy will open, whenever I will be able to, I will start shopping. For example, pent-up demand ये हो सकती है कि whenever I will start earning more, I will buy a car. This is your pent-up demand. और I will buy a house. ठीक है, जो आप आज पूरा नहीं कर सकते बट आपकी ख्वाहिश है कि आप पूरा कर सकते. This is pent-up demand. So pent-up demand will not grow now because it is stable now. ठीक है, the demand has stable now and maybe it can fall down further if inflation persists. But inflation आज के डेटा के हिसाब से अब कम हो गया है. RBI was seeing this also. ठीक है, इन्फ्लेशन इज बिलो 6%. वी विल रीड अबाउट दैट टुमारो, बट आज के पेपर में ये आया हुआ है that inflation has fallen below 6%. Okay, now this is the lowest growth forecast for India by any multilateral development bank, with World Bank and ADB forecasting GDP growth at 6.3% and 6.4% respectively. Okay, now in its latest biannual World Economic Outlook, IMF has said that IMF has said that retail inflation will ease to 4.9%. Now this is some bold claims by IMF because even RBI does not say this. ठीक है, RBI के हिसाब से हमारा इन्फ्लेशन 5.2% के आसपास रहेगा. ठीक है, 5.2% will be our inflation in financial year 24. But IMF in its latest calculation has said that 4.9% will be India's retail inflation in 24 and 6.7% financial year 23 में रहा हो. Okay. Now current account deficit. So CAD to come down to 2.2%, same as RBI. RBI ने भी 2.2% कहा था, from estimated 2.6% a year ago. Okay. Now, in purchasing power parity terms, India's growth in per capita output is set to decelerate to 4.9%. Means per capita income growth on purchasing power parity terms will be lower than last year. मतलब लोगों की wages कम बढ़ेंगे. Okay, 4.9% in financial year 24 as opposed to 5.8% in 23. Okay, now IMF has also said, the research department of IMF, that cut in India's growth forecast was due to a set of historical revisions. A set of historical revisions matlab, if you remember the NSO का advanced estimate, first revised estimate that came after the budget, याद होगा अगर revised estimate. So what NSO did, it changed the GDP numbers of previous 2 years also. जैसे 8.7% was the GDP in FY22. They improved it to 9.1% because new data set arrived with the NSO. नया data set आया तो revise किया गया estimate. That's why India's GDP that grew at 8.7% as per earlier estimate in financial year 22 में उसको बढ़ा के 40 basis point बढ़ाया NSO ने and कर दिया 9.1%. That's what IMF is saying, that historical set of revisions that India did had caused what? It caused a higher base. अब 8.7% का growth का base था पहले, फिर 9.1% का growth का base हो गया due to historical revision. So it will cause a lower GDP growth rate, lower GDP growth in the financial year 24 क्योंकि आपका base बढ़ गया तो अब आपकी दूरी कम हो जाएगी. ठीक है, ग्रोथ कम होगी. पहले आप मान लो कि पहले 8 रुपए पे आप 16, मान लो पहले 8 रुपए कमा रहे थे इन 2022 फाइनेंशियल ईयर, यू एक्सपेक्ट टू गो टू 13, मान लो 13 रुपीज कमा रहे हैं, यानी कि आप 5 रुपए कमा रहे थे, 8 रुपए 2022 में कमा रहे थे, 2024 में आप कमा रहे थे 13 रुपीज, तो मतलब आप 5 रुपीज एक्स्ट्रा कमाए फ्रॉम द लास्ट ईयर, फ्रॉम फाइनेंशियल ईयर 22. बट सिंस यू रिवाइज्ड योर एस्टिमेट, अब 8 रुपए से 9 रुपए पे आ गए कि हमने और ज्यादा कमाई की थी फाइनेंशियल ईयर 22 में सॉरी. सो आपका बेस ऊपर चला गया, योर बेस राइजेस. अगर बेस ऊपर चला गया तो जो डिफरेंस है वो कम हो गया. 5 रुपए की जगह आप कितना कमाए, 4 रुपए कमाए, और आप 4 ही रुपए कमाए और बेस बढ़ गया तो परसेंटेज ग्रोथ कम हो गई. दैट्स व्हाट IMF said, that due to a set of historical revisions, the GDP forecast for financial year 24 has been lowered down for India. Okay. Now PSU general insurance market dropped to 800 basis point in 5 years. So let's see this. So in financial year 19 means pre-COVID era, 40.4% was the total market share of public sector general insurance. General means जो सब कुछ इंश्योर करते हैं. ठीक है, हेल्थ हो गया, कार हो गया, स्कूटर हो गया, सब कुछ. Okay, so it has fallen from 40% to 32%. ठीक है, तो टोटल ड्रॉप आया कितना, 800 बेसिस पॉइंट, मीन्स 8%. ठीक है, 40.4 से 32.4 तक आ गए, अराउंड 800 बेसिस पॉइंट्स. ओके, नाउ ये तो है. ठीक है, जनरल इंश्योरर्स. So 3 insurers were recently nominated by IRDAI to be too big to fail. ठीक है, domestically systematically important insurers, DSII. So LIC was one, GIC was one. What was the third company? One of the 4 options is given here. So the 4 public sector general insurers, New India Assurance, United India, Oriental, and National Insurance Company have lost 800 basis point in market share in the past 5 years. ओके, अब ये 40.4% से कम होके आया है 32.4% के आसपास. Still, New India Assurance is still the biggest general insurer in India. It has a market share of 14.4%. New India Assurance is having a market share of 14%. It is still the highest insurer. ठीक है, means biggest insurer of general insurance. ओके, थोड़ा सा ड्रॉप आया, सबसे कम ड्रॉप आया है न्यू इंडिया एश्योरेंस. करेक्ट ईशा, इट वाज न्यू इंडिया एश्योरेंस, द थर्ड कंपनी. Now this, among the 4 insurers, New India Assurance witnessed the marginal fall. Marginal क्यों? Because 800 basis point का fall हुआ है, and only 64 basis point fall was seen in New India Assurance, the biggest insurer in India, biggest general insurer in India. Okay, now the other 3 witnessed a considerable erosion in their market standing, because highest कितना था? National Insurance Company saw the most erosion of 300 basis points, followed by United Oriental. You don't need to remember this. Lowest fall किसका रहा है? New India Assurance. Who is the market leader? New India Assurance. Okay, now similarly the solvency ratio of these 3 loss-making firms, these 3 कौन से? National Insurance, Oriental and United, because New India तो हमारा domestically important है, तो वो तो loss making है नहीं, तो ये तीनों loss making है. So solvency ratio is below the required solvency ratio that should be maintained by as per prescribed by the IRDAI. अब ये solvency ratio है कितना? 1.5 times और 150%. अब ये solvency ratio होता क्या है? So asset upon liabilities. ठीक है, net asset कितना है कंपनी का? Total net asset upon liability means how much premium the company has to pay back. ठीक है, तो उसका रेशियो शुड बी 150%. मीन्स योर एसेट शुड बी 1.5 टाइम्स योर लाइबिलिटीज. ये है हमारा सॉल्वेंसी रेशियो. ओके, 1.5 टाइम्स ये रेगुलेटेड नॉर्म है, ये याद रखना, 150% और 1.5 टाइम्स. ओके, now four states raised 5,800 crore via state development loans at bond auction. Okay, now states को भी पैसा चाहिए. So how states raise money? States cannot issue treasury bills. तो state क्या issue करते हैं? State development loan. ये long term होते हैं जनरली. ठीक है, तो यहाँ भी देखा जाएगा 7 साल, 10 साल, 3 साल ऐसे टाइप के the SDL's state development loans have been auctioned to raise 5,800 crore. इसमें सबसे ज्यादा महाराष्ट्र ने पैसा उठाया है, 3,000 करोड़ के आसपास, अबाउट 3,000 करोड़. ठीक है, द 4 states वर पंजाब, असम, नागालैंड एंड महाराष्ट्र. ठीक है, अदर स्टेट्स विल फर्दर लॉन्च, बट अभी जो पहला ऑक्शन हुआ है इसमें 4 states वर पंजाब, असम, नागालैंड एंड महाराष्ट्र. महाराष्ट्र being the highest releaser of SBI. ठीक. Okay, now 4 states raised 5,800 crore through state development loans. That is about 1/4 of the amount of 15 state government intended to raise this week. ठीक है, 1/4 means अगले एक हफ्ते में 15 स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स और रेज करेंगी पैसा. नॉट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट नंबर टू रिमेंबर, बस रिमेंबर कर लो कि 4 जो पहले स्टेट थे वो थे पंजाब, असम, नागालैंड एंड महाराष्ट्र. Okay, now indicative calendar of market borrowing by states and UTs for April showed 50 states planning to raise 22,500 crore in the second week of April. Okay, so RBI has announced for Q1 2024 indicative SDL borrowings at 2 trillion rupees, 81% higher than Q1 of financial year 23. Q1 means April to June, पहले point. अब आरबीआई अनाउंस किया है एसडीएल बोरोइंग. व्हाट डज इट मीन? आरबीआई बोरो क्या करता है? आरबीआई बोरोस द गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स. अब सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के भी बॉन्ड्स ले सकता है, स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के भी ले सकता है. स्टेट गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स आर कॉल्ड एसडीएल. सो आरबीआई हैज प्रॉमिस्ड that we will at least buy up to 2 trillion rupees worth of your state development loans or state development bonds. ठीक है. Now maturity याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Just remember the 4 states: Punjab, Assam, Nagaland, and Maharashtra raising highest 3,000 crore out of 5,800 crore. Okay, now this lenders to enhance large size mudra loans. Okay, now अब लार्ज साइज मुद्रा लोन्स क्यों? 3 तरह के मुद्रा लोन्स होते हैं. 3 टाइप्स: शिशु, तरुण, किशोर. ठीक है. तो लोएस्ट इज फॉर शिशु up to 50,000. If you remember, abhi Chidambaram our former finance minister also tweeted about it. In very blunt terms, maybe not very accurate terms, but still he tweeted about this, that more than 80% of the loans under Mudra is for 50,000. I don't know what business starts at 50,000 because the government does not have a data about how these Mudra loans are being used. ये सही बात है कि डेटा नहीं है, बट डेटा इस बात का भी नहीं है कि उसका बिजनेस के लिए यूज नहीं होगा. But once in a while, an NGO did a something survey kind of a thing. They find out that जो शिशु loans होते हैं वो generally people use it for personal purposes and then return when they have the money, and they are not actually investing it in a business. The government should do some surveys to find out how these loans are being used. ठीक है, to have a better data set. ठीक है, data is the new oil. To have a better data set, but still जो data है वो देख लेते हैं. So highest mudra loans is under the Shishu category up to 50,000 वाला. ठीक है. So government wants to increase it. The banks wants to increase this number. कि सबसे ज्यादा अगर शिशु में देंगे, छोटे छोटे लोन पे मार्जिन्स कम होते हैं. The banks will not earn more. Also these are not very. अगर आप छोटा लोन ले रहे हैं, this means you are not looking for an economy of scale. आप कोई बिजनेस बड़ा करने के लिए लोन नहीं ले रहे. You are only, let's say, starting a small, like a street vendor kind of a thing, even if you are going to start a business. Okay, that's why the government and the public sector banks and other banks also want कि मुद्रा का जो category wise breakup है, उसमें बड़े loans means किशोर loans should be more than the शिशु loans. Good morning, Rachna. Okay, now so lenders are looking to broad-based working under the Mudra scheme by enhancing the number of loans in over 50,000 to 10 lakh category to help businesses scale up operations. Okay. अब 10 लाख तक दे सकते हैं ना. 50,000 up to 50,000 is smallest, the Shishu one, then Kishore up to 5 lakh and then Tarun up to 10 lakh. ठीक है. So going by the data released by Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana by the Ministry of Finance, there is a skewed distribution with Shishu category having more than 80% of the loans, then Kishore category 15%, and then Tarun, the highest category, having only 2%. This shows that people are not taking loans for higher business, the bigger businesses, or to make their business big. They are taking loans, small loans, either for personal use or for a small, like say, small businesses like a street vendor or small shop, like that. Okay. Okay, a public sector bank has flagged a priority to increase the share of number of loans with higher amounts to attain bigger scale and job generation potential. Why? छोटे business, for example, सोचो, just think about an example. Why these things happen? Why the banks want it? But just think about it. कि if you have a you are a street side vendor. I don't know where you live, but you must have seen, for example, ठीक है, गोलगप्पा स्टॉल, ठीक है, कुछ नहीं तो टेक अ पानी पूरी गोलगप्पा स्टॉल, ठीक है, ओनली यू टेक अ 50,000 लोन, ठीक है, you make your own golgappa cart or a pani puri cart, whatever you say in your region, ठीक है, सो यू आर नॉट एम्प्लॉइंग एनीवन, एक पर्सन एम्प्लॉयड होता है वो आप खुद है, ठीक है, और यू स्टार्ट योर ओन, लेट्स से टी शॉप, वन पर्सन इज एम्प्लॉयड देयर, सो अगर आप लोन बढ़ा लेंगे योर बिजनेस विल बी बिगर, इट विल हैव मोर जॉब पोटेंशियल, जो जॉब एम्प्लॉयमेंट जनरेशन पोटेंशियल, ओके। Okay. Further, they have said there will not be any dilution in the focus for Shishu category, but we will want to increase the share of Kishore and Tarun loans. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं होगा कि वो शिशु लोन नहीं देंगे, बट बड़े लोन्स को बढ़ाना चाहते हैं. Now, this comes in the backdrop of scheme completing 8 years because the scheme started in April 2015. ठीक है, अप्रैल 2015 में स्टार्ट हुई थी, 8 साल पूरे हो गए. Yes, tissue loans are not as productive in larger scope because they don't have employment giving potential. Okay, they are small, and also if your businesses are not growing big, for example, you have a tea shop and तुम्हारे बगल में आके एक और टी शॉप खुल गया, your whole customer base will be divided. तो ऐसा तो है नहीं कि टी इज नॉट मीन्स आपका कोई पैटेंटेड चीज तो है नहीं टी, ठीक है, you are making the tea with the same tea leaf that the chai wala in beside you is making, so your customers will be divided, growth potential will be lower down, employment तो वैसे भी किसी को नहीं देना है, एक चाय टपरी पे एक ही आदमी काम करेगा, दो तो करेंगे, ठीक, दैट्स करेक्ट अनिकेत. Okay, now it started with the aim to improve the access to financial services for those who are at the bottom of the pyramid. Okay, collateral free आसानी से लोन मिल जाता है to meet both term loans and working capital components of financing. Okay, income generational activity like manufacturing, trading, and services sector, and it also covers allied agriculture allied activities like poultry, dairy, beekeeping, animal husbandry, etc. ठीक है, more than 408 million loans amounting to 23.2 trillion have been sanctioned under PM Mudra Yojana. Remember these numbers. 408 million total loans in last 8 years have amounting to 23.2 trillion rupees. Okay. So divide भी करके देख लोगे तो the cost of loans is very low. Okay. Oh, now RBI announces norms to accept green deposits by banks and NBFCs. Green deposit basically green की बात हो रही है, bonds की, ठीक है. They can raise their green bonds, but again the proceeds will only be used for renewable energies or funding renewable energy further. Okay. We will talk about it. मतलब क्या है? Let's read it. The Reserve Bank of India announced a framework for accepting green deposits by bank and deposit-taking NBFCs. Okay, the central bank identified 9 sectors in which the proceeds from these green bonds can be used. That is renewable energy and green transport, battery cells, etc. Okay, the green deposit shall be denominated in Indian rupees only. 3 important points. अब proceeds from green bonds must be used in 9 sectors. It is okay. That means अगर green bond issue करके, if after issuing the green bonds the banks are raising money, then they can use that raised money to give loans. Banks directly तो जाके development करेंगे नहीं, they are going to further finance that money. So they should use the proceeds of the green bond for 9 green sectors. Okay. Now, so some banks and NBFCs already started to accept green deposits, and RBI has now decided to put a framework, ठीक है, or to develop green financing ecosystem in the country, because Indian government is also pushing for a green financing ecosystem in World Bank. So why not start from your own country? So we are starting it. So RBI regulated entities, means banks, have been told to put in place a comprehensive approved policy on green deposits. Okay, laying down all the aspects in detail. Green deposit means पैसा अगर आप ले रहे हैं for green financing, so you can use that deposit or that bond fund only for those 9 key identified green sectors. Okay, a copy of the policy should be made available on the website of the regulated entity. Okay, policy of what? Board approved policy for green deposit. Regulated entities means banks and CICs and other entities that are regulated by RBI. Okay, also a third party verification once a financial year. Okay, a third party verification means how you are using your green deposit funds. If you are using it for those identified 9 sectors or not, will be done by a third party independent verification unit. Annual basis पे होगा every financial year. Okay. Now DFS2 states deep and micro insurance scheme. DFS means Department of Financial. Okay. So Department of Financial Services has asked the states and UTs to have more micro insurance scheme. Micro means small insurance scheme. छोटे छोटे जिसके प्रीमियम. Okay. Like obviously PM Jeevan Jyoti. अच्छा, PM Jeevan Jyoti and PM SBI. What is the premium of these two? Please comment down. इसका premium कितना है? Because it has changed. The premium has been increased. So increased premium कितना है? Okay, the Department of Financial Services urged the states and UTs to increase the enrollments under the micro insurance schemes of PMJJBY, PMJJY and PMSBY and जीवन ज्योति और SBY सुरक्षा बीमा में enrollments बढ़ाने, ठीक है, in their respective states. Correct, Isha. Right. Correct and incorrect. Correct, Isha. 20. Let me write it. 20 for PM Suraksha Bima and 436 for PM जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना. जीवन ज्योति है लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, सुरक्षा बीमा एक्सीडेंटल इंश्योरेंस. हिंदी में है बस. ओके. जस्ट अ रिविजन. तो पीएम जीवन ज्योति बीमा एंड पीएम सुरक्षा बीमा योजना, so 46 million enrollments under PM Suraksha Bima Yojana and 27 million in PM जीवन ज्योति बीमा योजना. So जीवन ज्योति पिछले साल से financial year 23 में it has increased. So for enrollment for this has increased, but enrollment for Suraksha Bima has decreased. So that's why government is pushing for more the states and UTs to enroll more people. क्योंकि financial year 21 में it was highest. Okay, so government is pushing to do it more. States को बोला गया है कि और जीवन ज्योति या फिर because it ensures people the life of people or the life of other people depending upon the person insured. Okay, और बहुत ज़्यादा premium भी रहेगी, so people can give that premium. Okay. So now active enrollments under PMJJY and PM Suraksha Bima Yojana stands at 83 million and 239 million respectively. Not a very important number, but phase 1 में पूछा जा सकता है. Okay, if RBI goes bonkers. Okay, 83 million and 239 million means PM Suraksha Bima Yojana has more enrollment than PM Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. You can remember it like that also. अगर statement based question आए. Okay, claims of about 15,500 crores have been paid. Okay, now also a 3-month campaign will cover the district in the country. means 3-1 campaign for what? To make people more aware about these two micro insurance schemes. Okay. Now insurance coverage, PM Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, 2 lakh rupees in case of death. PM Suraksha Bima Yojana, 2 lakh in case of death and full permanent disability, and 1 lakh in case of partial disability, 40% of your disability. Okay, now the best news, SEBI. So SEBI codified exclude norms for alternative funds. तो ये फैसिलिटी AIFs के लिए, अल्टरनेटिव इन्वेस्टमेंट फंड. AIFs क्या होते हैं? पूल्ड इन्वेस्टमेंट लाइक म्यूचुअल फंड, बट दे आर अ बिट डिफरेंट. इसमें 3 तरह की कैटेगरी होती है, लाइक एंजल इन्वेस्टर, वेंचर कैपिटलिस्ट, प्राइवेट इक्विटी. ओके, सो देयर इज अ exclude norms. ओके, वी विल सी व्हाट इज इट इज. ठीक है, अभी exclude क्या है, तो यहाँ से पढ़ लेते हैं थोड़ा सा. ठीक है, सो एक्सक्यूज प्रोविजंस क्या था? डिफरेंटली बाय फंड्स मींस, एक्सक्यूज का क्या मतलब है? दैट द फंड्स चेंजेस सम ऑफ द टर्म्स ऑफ देयर लेट्स से AIF अपने AIFs का टर्म्स चेंज करते हैं, कुछ एक्सक्यूज करते हैं टर्म्स को, दैट इज कॉल्ड एक्सक्यूज, बट दे विल हैव टू नाउ हैव अ प्रोसीजर फॉर दैट. ओके, लेट्स सी. So SEBI has codified the exclude norms by AIFs such as private equity, venture capitalists, angel investor, etc. on managing portfolio companies. Okay, this move is expected to sidestep conflict, rein in investment breaches. ठीक है, introduce transparency in the dealings. ठीक है, conflict breaches, why? Because sometimes AIF change the terms and conditions in the midway of this. Okay. While the exclude provisions are widely being followed by venture capitalist industry, the recent guidelines will formalize the process and bring in uniformity. ठीक है, अगर आप regulations या guidelines देगी by the regulators, market regulator, then there will be a uniformity, obviously. ठीक है, one nation, one rule. Now, SEBI has mandated the submission of legal opinion, reviewing disclosures in the contribution agreement, and offering rational documents before granting such flexibility. At present, such exclusions were being used in some cases to benefit particular investors owing to varying interpretation from these VC funds. ठीक है, means now the AIF should be more transparent by submitting every document and every rationale behind their thinking, that why they are changing the terms of their scheme midway. क्यों चेंज कर रहे हैं, उसका लीगल ओपिनियन क्या है, what are the reviews made by the AIFs, means the company of the AIFs, and offer a rationale and documents. Rationale means what were they thinking, what was the intent, and the documents before granting any flexibility in their system. AIF में किसी कोई पॉलिसी चेंज कर रहे हैं, ठीक है, so they should submit everything before they can change it. Okay, at present such exclusions were being used by in some cases to benefit particular investors. These high net worth investor होंगे जिनकी यारी दोस्ती ज्यादा अच्छी होगी AIF companies के CEOs के साथ. For those it was better deals. तो deals change कर दी जाती थी midway. Now it will be uniform. So AIFs are pooled investment. Some are structured on a blind pool basis, others deal by deal. Blind pool है. Deal by deal means like angel investors, they deal directly with the private company as per their own conditions. ठीक है, others are hybrid. Blind pool basis means you give the money to the AIF and they can invest it wherever they want. ठीक है, SEBI has laid the groundwork for exercising exclude clause. Now an investor will be able to opt out of a deal by an AIF if it is disclosed in the contribution agreement that such an investment is in contravention of its internal policy. ठीक है, so means अगर कोई investor है आपके AIF में पैसा लगाया and you are changing your policy and it is in contravention या contradiction with its own internal policy when the scheme was floated, then you can take back your money. इवन मैच्योरिटी के पहले. Also, any change in the terms of agreement will have to be informed to the AIF manager within 15 days. Okay. The new guidelines bring more transparency with a requirement of recording the reasons for each segment, along with limiting the terms for being excused from a deal or excluding an investor. ठीक है. Means you have to give reasons, transparent reasons, legal reasons, rational behind changing your policy. And AIF manager should be informed within 15 days. Now, this is the only news. क्योंकि बहुत ज़्यादा पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है इसमें. Which index launched REIT and invites? It is NLC. ठीक है. REIT means real estate, invite means infrastructure. ठीक है. IT means investment trust. ठीक है. Investment trust, तो real estate investment trust and infrastructure investment trust, इन दोनों को पहली बार लॉन्च किसने किया है? NSE ने. Has launched rights and invites, which will track the overall performance of the listed REIT and invites. Okay. REIT and invite index, जैसे अलग अलग इंडेक्स होते हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल बैंक इंडेक्स इज देयर, फाइनेंशियल इंडेक्स इज देयर, अलग अलग इंडेक्स होते हैं that track the companies related to the umbrella portfolio. ठीक है. तो उसी तरह REIT and invites index है, that will only track those companies that are issuing these bonds related to REIT and invites. Okay. Now, the weighing of securities in the index will be determined by their free float market capitalization, with exposure to a particular REIT or invites being capped at 33%. मीन्स एक इंडेक्स में, फॉर एग्जांपल REIT का एक इंडेक्स है, तो कोई एक पर्टिकुलर फंड और एक पर्टिकुलर कंपनी और बॉन्ड्स should not have more than 33% of the market share in that index. For example, मान लो कि 5 companies हैं that are listed for REITs on the NSE index, REIT NSE index, then one of the means 33% से ज्यादा शेयर किसी एक कंपनी का नहीं हो सकता उस इंडेक्स में. ओके. 33% means, for example, one company has 35% of the total share and other companies are 15%, 10%. तो ऐसा नहीं होगा. 33% से ज्यादा किसी एक कंपनी के पास शेयर नहीं होंगे उस इंडेक्स में. ओके. 33% means 1/3, not more than 1/3. Also, aggregate weight of top 3 securities is capped at 72%. Okay. Top 3 क्यों? For example, अगर 33 3 के हो जाएंगे तो it will be 99%. 100% के टोटल वेट में 99 तो इन 3 का हो गया. So that's why 72% से ज्यादा 3 के एक साथ नहीं होंगे. The 3 highest securities on the index should not have more than 72%. Currently there are 6 securities on the index. ठीक है. अब ये बढ़ सकता है, कम भी हो सकता है. Why it can increase? If people will be interested more, the companies will release more invite bond or rights bond. Currently 6 securities are there on the index. Okay. With Embassy Office Parks, REIT having the highest weightage of 33%, because it is capped at 33%. One company cannot have more than 33%, and top 3 companies cannot have more than 72%. Okay, REITs are investment trusts like mutual fund that own and operate real estate properties. Okay, simple. And invites are similar to REITs, but they operate the operational infrastructure asset like highway, roads, road development, pipeline, warehousing, etc. ठीक. Now the base. The base date of index is July 1, 2019, and the base value is 1000. And the index will be reviewed and rebalanced on a quarterly basis. ठीक है. Base date है July 1, base value है 1000. Means whatever will be the changes, the base value 2019 की रहेगी. 1000 rupees जो change आएगा, जैसे मान लो 10% increase हुआ तो 1010 हो जाएगा, like that. And it will be rebalanced every quarterly basis. Okay. Now, one more SEBI question. The best. SEBI nudges AIF to launch direct transfer. Just like mutual fund, दो तरह के प्लान होते थे, रेगुलर एंड डायरेक्ट. रेगुलर में यू हैव टू पे कमीशंस टू योर डीलर और द ब्रोकर और योर एजेंट. Indirect mutual fund, you don't have to pay the brokerage. ठीक है, that's why SEBI is nudging AIF to also give out direct plans. Okay. To bring transparency in expenses and curb mis-selling, market has said that AIF to provide an option of direct plan and also introduced a trail model of distribution commission. We have read about this trail model for distribution commission. क्योंकि SEBI has changed it. One time distribution नहीं लेना है. They can take as per the trail. Means whenever the investments are being made, then only you can charge a commission. One time investment के तर्ज पे नहीं लेना है commission. For example, someone is going to invest 10 crore rupees, but on a let's say monthly basis or quarterly basis वो थोड़े थोड़े amount करके invest कर रहा है AIF में. Then AIFs cannot charge the commission on the full 100 crore at once. They will charge on a trail basis. Whenever the amount is being invested, then you can charge a distribution commission. Direct plan क्यों? Because if there will be a only regular plans, so agents will sell those plans more that will have a better returns to them. जिसपे उन्हें रिटर्न ज्यादा मिलेगा, they will try to sell more. ठीक है, because agents will get more commission on certain schemes. Maybe that is good or not. ठीक है, so that's why regular plans, direct plans SEBI is saying to release. Okay, the rules are in flexibility to investors for investing in AIFs. Okay, the SEBI said in two separate circulars, the framework for direct plan will come into force from May 1. Now, very important, direct plan का framework from May 1 means AIF are now nudged, means SEBI has said, and they will release a guideline framework from May 1 so that more and more this direct plans for AIF will be introduced. Okay. Now, directing AIF schemes of AIF shall have an option of direct plan for investors, just like mutual fund. ठीक, investor will have the opportunity to participate in AIF without having to pay any distribution fee or placement fee. कोई commission, distribution commission, agent commission नहीं देना होगा, and they can participate directly. Now, introducing a trail model for distribution commission, SEBI said category 3 AIFs would charge distribution fee from investors only on equal trail basis. अब category 3 AIFs क्या होते हैं? Category 3 AIFs are those funds that are used for hedging, insurance, etc. They are highly risky funds. Category 3 AIFs are highly risky. Since they are high risk, they give you high returns. ठीक है, high risk क्यों है? Because they are used to hedge. ठीक है, मोस्टली हेजिंग के लिए यूज किया जाता है. ठीक है, अगर आप रिस्की, आपकी प्रोफाइल ही रिस्की है, यू आर इंश्योरिंग समथिंग, इंश्योरेंस इज अ वेरी रिस्की प्रोफाइल. So that's why ये बहुत category 3 AIFs are risky. They give more returns. And also distribution commission शुरू कहाँ से हो रहा है? Trail basis वाला from category 3 AIFs. Okay, category 1s are generally private equity, venture capitalist, angel investors. Category 2 is general, whatever you are using your money for, alternative investments like for infrastructure or for making hospitals, schools, like that, or any other investing in equities, etc. और category 3 तो highly risky, hedging etc. यूज होता है. तो category 3 AIF से शुरू होगी trail basis distribution fees. Okay. Okay, now it means no upfront distribution fee would be charged by the AIFs directly or indirectly from their investors. Okay, further, any distribution charge would be paid only from the management fees received by the managers of such category 3 AIFs. Okay. Now for the other two categories, means category 1 and category 2, AIFs may pay up to 1/3 of the total distribution fee to the distributors on upfront basis, and the remaining would be paid to the distributors on equal trail basis over the tenure of the fund. ठीक है, means let's say SEBI gets 10 rupees as a distribution fee. Means AIF gets 10 rupees as distribution fees. So 1/3 means around 3 point, let's say 3 rupees they gave upfront to the distributors, and rest of it means 2/3 of the fees, ये 7 rupees जो बच गए, that will be on equal trail basis on the tenure of the EIFs. Tenure में भी 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 10 year, कुछ भी हो सकता है tenure. तो tenure के हिसाब से, validity of tenure के हिसाब से they will be given trail basis. But for category 3 it will be only trail basis. ठीक है, इसमें तो फिर भी 1/3 आपको upfront मिलेगा, but for category 3 that are highly risky only trail basis will be there. We have read about this. India defends MSP at WTO. Okay, now MCQs. IRDAI के लिए course. I think it is launched. Go to the portal. It is launched. For IRDAI, it is launched. Go to the go to the website. You can find it. Okay, answer is also here. Okay, let's start the MCQs. So, question number 1: what is the reason cited by IMF for slashing its economic growth for India for financial year 24 for 20 basis point to 5.9%? ठीक है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 1. कोई आंसर नहीं देखा है तो प्लीज. ओके, ईशा करेक्ट. Aniket only one class. She will do the class now. Correct. Isha, Nivedita, Sumit, Aniket, everyone is right. A. Historical revisions of data affecting the pent-up demand. Okay. Now question number 2. Question number 2. Let's see how big I can do. Question number 2. Please answer question number 2. What is the reason for the decline in the market share for public sector general insurance company in India for the past 5 years? कहाँ से है आंसर? Sumit, you are right. Nivedita, you are also right. So D is the correct answer. Declining health of their businesses, because they are also not able. First, they are not able to compete with Indian private companies because they are not giving better service, and also their solvency ratio is less than 1.5. So उनकी जो financial health है वो decline हो रही है. Okay, now what is the Reserve Bank of India's framework for accepting green deposits by banks and deposit taking non-banking financial companies aimed at? Correct, Isha, Aniket, Ankita, Nivedita, Aniket, Isha, everyone is right. C is the right answer because they are providing a framework for issuance and allocation of green deposits. Now, question number 4. What is the number of active enrollments under PMJJBY and PMSBY, and how much claims have been paid under both schemes? Simple. You have seen about this. That PMJJY has less than PMSBY. ये तो मालूम है. ठीक है? And what about the claims? Let's see. Correct, Aniket. You are right. Correct, Isha. Okay, so A is the right answer. 83 million for PM Jivan Jyoti, 239 million for PM Suraksha Bima, and total worth 15,000 crore. 15,000 crore worth of claims have been paid. Okay, now last question, easy question. Correct, Aniket, Isha Nivedita. Correct, Isha. Right. The organization launched the Rights and Rights Index. Correct. Correct, Sumit, Nivedita, Aniket. Yes, everyone is right. Simple question. National Stock Exchange. Correct, Ankita. It's a NSE. Okay, so that's it for today. Quite a big class today. Okay, thank you for joining everyone. I hope you like the lecture. अगर आज के lecture से आपकी knowledge में value add हुआ तो do like and share. And if you have any query, please reach out to me on Telegram or on the group wherever possible. Thank you everyone for joining. Bye.